Now, before Trump, before politics, before the internet lost its mind, during all of this Somali fraud crap, let's start with someone who actually runs a daycare, because if this doesn't make sense, nothing that follows should be ignored.
So my husband and I own a daycare center here in Texas that we started from originally our living room. We were in-home providers. And I have a lot of feelings about this Minnesota fraud case. I watched a video where the journalist had gone up to the different facilities and somebody answered the door and they had asked for a tour. If somebody asked for a tour at my facility, guess what? They're getting a tour. I'm gonna drop everything I'm doing because you have to be on your hustle game to be able to run these facilities. It is so expensive to run a daycare center and it is so easy to go under. And so immediately to not have any documentation or enrollment packets, you don't have enrollment packets made, you won't let anybody come in for a tour. Also, have you ever worked with kids? There's no way you can open the door. I could be on the phone in my front office and somebody's crying or giggling or yelling. There are no sounds in those facilities. The fact that this went on for so long is so insane. And what really pisses me off is that now it's trickling down to people who aren't even related, who are just trying to do the right thing and run their facility. I got an email just now while I was at the gym from Workforce Commission about how, hey, if you are gonna need funding for da-da-da-da-da from NCI, you need to give us an estimation of how much you think you're going to need, because they might be asking us to jump through all these different hoops for attendance and for everything else, which is cool. But my point is, why do I, an upstanding citizen, somebody who's honest about what I'm doing, my heart is in it, why do I have to deal with this crap? I'm not even in that state. Most wonderful families that get on these wait lists to be in these subsidy programs, and they wait years and years and years to be able to actually get this subsidy to help them pay for childcare so they can go to work. It's not right.
Now, I want you to listen carefully to what she just said. Not ideology, not party lines, just simply how reality works. Simply. Real simple. Kids make noise, paperwork exists, and tours are normal. If none of that is happening, that's not culture. That's a warning sign right there, if you ask me. So now, how do we know what real looks like? Let's see what Minnesota looks like, right? Because when you can compare reality to this, something breaks.
And we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Denden Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Comments, sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business, providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Health Care, Aid, Inc. and child-friendly space.
By the way, I forgot to add, look who shared this post. Donald Trump.
All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Health Care. It just does not make sense. If you're trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition right next door. We're wondering, why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud, okay? That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you
No, you
about
don't
the
have
fraud.
to ask me, okay? Don't ask me that question again.
Okay.
Okay?
Who can I speak to? Who can I speak to? Okay. As soon as you confront them about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have these home healthcare companies, you're seeing them everywhere inside this building. What kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's false documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
So they're essentially just using people, saying that they have these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and then receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
And do you think there is fraud taking place here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what any of these businesses are doing?
I never ask.
22. Yep, y'all, 22 healthcare companies, one building. Same services, door after door after door. And the moment questions get asked, no answers, no tours. You know, they probably want to call the police. That's not confidence. That's panic right there. Sheer panic. And then, you know, this is where the story stops being local, because this didn't just go viral. Nope. It got noticed by someone who doesn't repost things for fun.
Fathered as the one processing the paperwork, put my grandmother down as his mother. And so I am illegal in this country. My parents are illegal here in this country because his mother had died.
Pause right there. Now, this isn't about, you know, one sentence. This is about standards. If nobody's checking paperwork, nobody's verifying eligibility, nobody's asking the hard questions, then fraud isn't surprising. It's inevitable. Okay. And once you see that, this next piece, it hits even harder, because systems don't fail on their own. They get help. Look what Trump just dropped.
Recently released audio recordings reveal conversations that happened between the Attorney General and individuals who were later implicated and in some cases convicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal. In those recordings, the Attorney General...
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
State your point of order.
Masons 124, paragraph 1, in debate, members must confine remarks to questions before the body and avoid personalities. The debate here is not any individual. It is the policy and the amendment.
Representative Niska.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Attorney General was asked in those recordings to use his authority to protect businesses under investigation for wrongdoing, and rather than distance himself or remain neutral to allow the legal process to unfold, he responded in those recordings, "Of course, I'm here to help."
Mr. Speaker, point of parliamentary inquiry.
State your point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, there was a point of order, and I didn't hear a ruling or any resolution of the point of order. Was there a resolution to it?
I'll remind the body that there was no ruling made by the Speaker as to the point of order that was just stated. Representative Niska.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Attorney General in those recordings even urged the individuals, let's go fight these people. He was offered campaign contributions during that meeting, contributions that he later accepted. The release of those audio recordings raises questions about what's going on in the Attorney General's office that go directly to the need to pass the legislation that we had previously debated, House File 20. Although he has insisted that nothing came of the meeting, his office blocks disclosure of closed investigative
point
data.
of order.
Masons 124.
The A11 will help ensure that what happens behind closed doors in the Attorney General's office sees the light of day. We can protect people's privacy while shining a light on what the Attorney General's office is doing, who is influencing that office, whether it's those under criminal investigation, nonprofits, corporations, or billionaires with political agendas, because Minnesotans have a right to know when their Attorney General's office is working with them. Minnesotans have a right to know whether the Attorney General is telling the truth that nothing came of that meeting. That's why the A11 is so important.
This is why scams don't die early. Meetings, sympathy, donations, and suddenly the watchdog is sitting at the table. So now the question isn't, you know, how did this happen? It's who made sure it kept going. And when exposure starts closing in, I want you to watch how people react, all right? This is what fear looks like.
Nick Shirley, you sick, twisted, demented, little micro individual. Everything you're doing out here, yeah, it's affecting all daycare systems, all child care assistance. It's because of you. And guess what? God don't like ugly. See, are you part of Project 2025? JD Vance, because JD Vance believes that the moms should stay at home and take care of the kids or have grandparents watch the kids. Some of them don't have parents to watch their children. You little sick individual. And did you see how CK leaned to the left at the end? Don't lean to the left for the wrong reason, bitch.
People who are right, they don't threaten. They explain. When intimidation shows up, it's because the truth, already landed and somebody's panicking. But don't worry. We're told the real problem isn't, fraud. It's you for noticing. So let's test that logic. How fast the talking points fall apart.
Trump is banning immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's terrible.
Why?
I just think that there's a lot of bad things going on in Somalia, and we should be taking people in war-torn countries in.
We should be taking them in. We're trying to get people today to sign up to take in a Somali migrant. Would you be able to do that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I could or not. I don't live in New York.
Well, that's okay. Where do you live?
Massachusetts.
We could send them to Massachusetts if that's all right. Could we get your name, email address, and then how many you'd be able to take in?
I couldn't do that without talking to my husband first. I might be open to it.
You might be open to it?
But I would want to have more information first.
Okay. Could we just get your information just in case
Only because I don't know who you are.
Oh, I'm Matt Miller.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I do it through an organization.
Okay. President Trump says he's stopping immigration from Somalia. What are your thoughts about that?
We need immigration as a country. It's insane, the arbitrary stops that he's putting in on all these countries.
You think America should accept in third world immigrants? He shouldn't stop it?
Always have. We should.
We should. Let me ask you, we're trying to find people to take in a migrant from Somalia. Would you be able to give us just your email and how many you would like to take?
I wouldn't be available to do that at this time.
You wouldn't be available?
No. I live in Michigan. I can't do that right now.
Okay. I mean, we could send them to Michigan if that's all right. We're just trying to get... You don't want to do it?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Someone should help. Someone should help. Just not me, huh? Not my house. That's not ideology. Well, no, really, that's the ideology in a nutshell, if you ask me. And while that contradiction plays out, something even stranger happens, okay? The story starts to get rewritten. No, literally rewritten.
A lot of Somalis don't know this, but the name Minnesota actually stems from two Somali words. One being Minan, which comes from the southern dialect of Somalia, which means home. And the second is Sota, which is like, Sota, there she is. Home, there she is, Minnesota. So technically, we actually are the natives here. A lot of Somalis don't know this, but the name...
This isn't about belonging. This is about gaslighting. Because if you can rewrite history, you can rewrite accountability, right? And Minnesotans, they're not bonded anymore. You can definitely hit a shift.
Welcome to the Capitol. It's great that you're all... Sir, you're welcome to come. Let me finish. Let me finish and vote.
Hey, sir, he doesn't have fucking votes, sir. Shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, hey, there's some passion in the building, which is a good thing.
Reaction to some of the boos that you got out there and some of the heckling.
Yeah, and some of the thank you. And this guy wanted to go help me brawl the guy. Look, that's what they're going to do. These folks come here. They're going to have to face the reality. Some of these guys voted for what's happening at the VA and they don't like it. Some of them come up here and are saying they're supporting folks who are voting against this. The House budget is grossly underfunded in veterans and it has to change.
Yeah, that's not a viral moment. That's special. When you got your people turning on you, it means the story escaped the screen, my guy. And finally, this doesn't stay in Minnesota because once the blueprint works, it spreads.
Said that everyone has a place in Seattle. Do, as you put it, extremist influencers have a place in Seattle?
Well, he's right here, so I guess so.
Who, John? Or me? What is your administration going to do to investigate?
No questions, sir. No questions. No questions.
You can't answer questions.
You get a photo and then you're out. We're not doing press availability. We're not doing press availability today. That'll be later this week. I need you to move.
Wilson, why don't you call the people looking at the Somali daycare fraud? You all fall out.
Thank you. Have a good one. Take care. Take care.
So we just stood in line to get a question for newly inaugurated Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson. As I got up there, I asked, because she said in her speech that everyone has a place in Seattle, and I said, does that include, as she put it, extremist influencers in her statement? She looked at Jonathan and she said, well, there's one standing right there. And then I said, well, what's your guy? She's the guy. What is your administration going to do to investigate Somali daycare fraud? And she literally started pushing me away and said, we're not taking questions at this time. I said, you're the newly elected mayor of Seattle. What do you mean you're not taking questions? And her staff ushered me out.
Day one in office. No answers, no transparency, just force. I guess that's what happens when sunlight hits systems built in the dark. So, this wasn't about race, y'all. It was about rules. A daycare owner told the truth. A citizen journalist followed the money. We know. Shout out to Nick Shirley, my guy. Trump confirmed the signal. And once all of that happened, everything else is unraveling. Now, you're not watching chaos. You're definitely watching accountability fight its way back into the room. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment, paperwork matters. I know who really watched. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today because you can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.